So last session, then, you arrived in Bogler. You got to Ispin Greenshield's funeral. You gave him a decent send off. You met loads of locals and visiting dignitaries that were there for Ispin's funeral. Some what was it, Sam? Posh knobhead. You met a posh knobhead, I think.
Something like
that. And you left, promising Becklin that you'd visit first thing in the morning to discuss with her what she wanted to talk about. So unless you've got any other shenanigans that you wanted to get up to at the funeral, we can take you through long rests, first light next morning, wake up with a bit of a sore head. Who wakes up with a sore head? Definitely Nordan.
Definitely Leg.
It wouldn't be me. I'm always quite cautious when it comes to beer.
Nordan's only just hit age of maturity, so
Leggit and Nordan.
He's basically 18, mate.
Right. Well, because you're 18, you don't need a Constitution saving throw because you can do that kind of shit. When you
I did it until my early 20s.
How was that possible? How was it possible that we go out and get absolutely wankered and then do it again?
Yeah.
Man.
You don't even want to get me started on the subject.
I effectively don't drink anymore because I'm such a pain.
I don't. But I used to be able to start drinking Wednesday and I'd finish Monday morning. Yeah. When I was in the army. It was ridiculous. How I have a liver is amazing.
I tried to bite Dave's nipple once when I was really drunk.
He veered towards me and viciously tried to bite me on the nipple.
I have no recollection of said incident, but there were several witnesses, so I have to admit that I did
it. and it scarred me forever. Riddled with dementia, that'll be my final thought. He tried to bite my nipple off. Right. So first thing in the morning, then bright lights. So Kelevendros and Arthas spryly out of bed, do your star jumps and your sit-ups and all that kind of business. Make as much noise as you possibly can putting your armor on.
Definitely, yeah. Definitely. Right next to him with a chain shirt, proper rustling it and.
So are we happy to sort of me to lead you to start the day then, or is there anything that anyone particularly wanted to do in Vogler?
No, I'm cool to move on if everyone else is.
Happy, mate.
Yeah, cool. Well, you emerge out of the brass crab. Two of you ready for the day. Two of you like this, and you know that Thornwall Keep is just to the north of you. Let me get my book ready. I should have been more prepared. As you appear in the morning, I've got a reader. Colourful banners and paper decorations shaped like kingfishers decorate the village circle. Temporary stalls. Hold up, I may have leapt ahead. Yeah, that's the Kingfisher Festival. So what you see at the minute is people setting up for the Kingfisher Festival. So they're putting banners round, awning, all kinds of flowers everywhere, symbols of kingfishers. And there are amazing smells from the village. This is a fisherman's village. There's a very fishing village aroma to it, even though it's nice and clean and all the rest of it. Now it smells like pies. It smells like pies and biscuits all in one. You go from one street to the next. You go from sweet to savoury, and it's really making your mouth water.
Eat the pies, guys.
I was just about to say that, Sam. Can I do a perception check on these pies, mate? Before we chomp them.
Do you have I had a bad pie experience once. I wonder what you could be referring to. I was the only one that ate it.
I can say I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
So, here you go. There's the town is abuzz with festive energy this morning as locals set up stalls and hang decorations. Ahead, the road to Thornwall Keep climbs a low hill towards an ancient edifice, ghostly in the morning mist. So you hear from a shop, and it is a pie shop. They call them
It's not run by a lovely old lady, is it?
No,
yeah,
it's
it's not an
run
old
by a
lady
lawyer.
outside it.
That was a life lesson I never thought I needed to learn, but I have now learned it.
Just to make you feel better, I rubbed my dagger into her eye all the way.
Good. You deserved it.
For the hilt. So this shop, they call them hand pies in the campaign book. Obviously, Americans have never heard of a pasty. It's called a pasty.
Yeah.
And
They're
Hand
basically
pies.
pies.
There you go, pasty.
It's a pasty, that yoth. So, and what you see is you see this young. You'd put him sort of 20s, human, dressed in sort of. He looks like he's dressed for the festival, but he's got a sword on his hip. And he says, pokes his head out. He says, "Oh, Becklin's mate." And as he steps out the threshold, he trips over the threshold ever so slightly. He's got a pasty in his hand and a bag full of other pasties. And he trips. This pasty rolls on the floor. He bollocks, scoops it up, blows it up, blows it on it. 5-second rule. And then he looks back towards you boys as he's about to launch into this pasty. And he'll look towards you and he'll say, "Oh shit, I've just said bollocks in front of a knight of Solamnia. I'm ever so sorry." And he looks.
I'll just smirk slightly.
he looks like he's just killed his own grandma. Or he's that devil that he swore in front of you. He said, "I look really, really sorry." And then he's looking at, right, am I supposed to apologise or eat me pasty? I'm not sure what to do. I'm going to eat me pasty. And he says, with a mouthful of pasty, he'll say, I'm Darrett Highwater. I'm the Beckett Squire. She's sent me out to get pies for you all, pasties, for your breakfast.
Pleased to meet you. Well met. I'll shake you by the hand.
Yeah.
If the one that doesn't have a pasty in it.
Well, he says, "Well, you must be Arthas. Then I can recognise you by those fantastic moustaches."
Indeed.
And he'll introduce himself to the rest of you. Go on, Sam. Sorry.
I forgot about the mustachio.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's awesome, and I love it. It's my pride and joy. Do you
think you could get your hands on some fake ones to remind us while we're having a session?
Yeah.
It's a shame we can't get a filter on Discord that just puts a moustache on.
A big handlebar moustache on.
Yeah, from now on, Mark, whenever you speak as your character, you need to sit there going like this.
I have got a moustache.
Yeah,
It's just not that impressive. It's not as good as the beard.
Darrett, he's like I say, he's in his 20s, young lad. He's keen to know everything that you've got to tell him. So as he's leading you back towards Thornwall Keep, he's asking you questions about the land. It's not questions about nothing that would hint at what's going on in the world. It's more like, where did you get your sword from? Right, your spells. How does it work? Magic's brilliant, type of thing. He's very energetic.
You got a question? Any questions about magic? You need to question to my smaller friend here, Leggit. He is the master magician of the group.
Yeah. I'll just nod. Yeah, absolutely.
It
may look like a 5-year-old child. Don't let appearances deceive.
little press. Oh look! Everything is little precipitation sparks.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is the extent of our friend's magical capabilities. He's
right. Who crit on Ice Knife?
Yeah, but Darrett doesn't know that, does he?
Oh.
Dave, has Darrett still got his pasty?
Yeah.
Given us a pasty yet?
Can I have my first roll of the game?
Sure.
No.
He's going to steal a pasty.
So yeah, Leggett's going to walk up to Darrett, and he's going to be very, very open, warm, and he's going to shake his hand, but he's going to grasp his other hand that the pasty's in, and grab it, shake it with both hands, and sort of get his attention on his eyes. And he's going to attempt to steal the pasty because he's really hungover. He's really quite
19 as well.
quite hungover. Really hungry. I know this pasty's coming, but I need something now. You know what I mean? That hungover.
Gotcha.
Hunger.
Okay.
I need.
So for this to work,
you need to eat all of it except the crust, then try and get that back in his hand without him noticing.
well, no. 'Cause all I'm thinking is you're kind of going to have to Temple of Doom this. You've taken something that's got mass and texture from his hand. You need to put something else in it. So what else? I mean, you can make something up, mate. Have you acquired something overnight or acquired?
I've picked up a rock from the ground. I've kept it in my pocket. It's
Slightly
warm.
hand pie shaped.
Right.
I know. I remarked on the shape of it.
Yeah, slightly crusty pie shaped.
Yeah. Okay. So
and I'm going to replace it.
Sure. So you can have the pasta. You can eat the pasta. It's.
I don't know why. It's no fucking difference, does it?
Why not?
Pasty.
It's a fish-based pasty, but it's delicious. So as you're sort of munching into it, and Darrett's walking along with you, he'll. I mean, he's moved on to the rest of you, and he starts sort of honing in on Arthas a little bit, and he's saying, "Well, so because I'm Becklin's Squire as well," and he's sort of asking you what it's like to be a Squire in Sanchrist, and he's trying to figure out if you're better off, if he's better off, and and he's an amenable fella, and he swings
I'll
his.
Tell him,
yeah.
I don't know exactly what because I don't know the details personally. Obviously, my character does though. So I mean, Arthas is quite happy to go through all that with him dead patiently, but in a tone of voice that makes him realise that probably makes the lad realise that it's quite shit, really. I'm not trying to sell it to him, but I'll tell you how it goes.
Give me an insight check then, Mark. Let's do this.
Insight. Natural 20.
So this young lad he's I mean, he can tell you a little bit of this, but you get the impression of it anyway. He was brought up in this town, small town boy. You're not entirely sure how he's because he's not Becklin's offspring.
Yeah.
But he's very knowledgeable. He's very learned. He's very earnest. He's just one of these people that you meet that he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he So even though you're sort of hinting at this, he's like, yeah, I know. Yeah. He's not dismissive of it, and he's quite receptive to what you're saying. But he's that optimistic that you're pretty sure it won't make a difference. He's brilliant.
I'm not going to tell him lies or particularly moan about anything. Just tell him how it is, and the how unexciting how it is.
So as you start or finish telling him this, he swings his hand back towards, and he's just about to launch into his hand pie. Let's make a little.
Oh no, is he gonna break his teeth on a stone?
No, he notices. I mean, there'd be a bit of a weight difference anyway, so I'll give him an advantage on the roll. But he notices, and he's
going to have to survey a TP very quickly.
Right, Mark game.
Survey a TP.
Like what?
Tell me your first, mate.
Now.
I'm going to take Wigwam.
That's very close to TP there.
It is, yeah.
Staying on the theme there, aren't you, mate?
Andy?
Okay. I'm going to go with Throttle.
Throttle.
Yeah.
Like it. Sam?
I'm going to go with Throw.
Throw. Okay. Right. Where were we? This is going to be happening a lot tonight. I'm very tired. So he'd not bitten into it, and then Mark left. I can't remember any more than that. So he notices and he looks. The look on his face is just pure wonder. And he's looking around at you with this sort of wry smile on his face, and he's obviously Arthas has not done it, and he looks towards Kelevendros, and he looks towards the two arcane casters, and he looks Nordan up, and he goes, well, maybe, and he stops.
One arcane caster in the group.
The one arcane. Yeah, sorry, mate. You know it's bad when the DM's doing it as well. He stops and he says, I don't know which one of you it was, but that was fucking amazing. And he's properly impressed. And then he sees Leggit as you're sort of halfway through it. And he sort of like nods and says, fair play, mate. Fair play. You're going to have to teach me how to do that at some point. That was incredible.
He gives a little salute.
Okay, so he continues off to. I thought I'd start you off with a map of Vogler just to familiarise you with it if it's loaded up. Yep. So you got Thornwall Keep. This is your entrance here. That's the leaping fish with the pieces of paper on that are good luck charms. So you've got cliffs and trees here. You've got cliffs on there with Thornwall Keep. That's just like a promontory. That's the manor house, which is quite well to do. That now that you know that the posh Bellend, you suspect that Bakaris, the younger Lord Bakaris, lived there. Village Circle, that's where most things happen. That's Raven Uth Vogler's house. You met the mayor as well, didn't you? So Brass Crab, where you were staying, and you make it all the way to the side of Thornwall Keep and to its entrance. So veins of bronze coloured ivy cling to Thornwall Keep's ancient 3-story stone tower, the tallest structure in Vogler. From its crenellated roof rises an elaborate device resembling a catapult. Crumbling ruins of walls and other fallen structures around the keep, and amid them lie several shallow square pits and covered excavation sites. And this is where you find Becklin. So I'll just give you the opportunity to revel in the fact that you're next to the gnome flinger.
Yeah, so I think Cal's going to step back and kind of nudge Nordan, and he's going to say, remember, you signed up to test that thing.
And Nordan's like, yeah, let's go.
So you can see now that you're a little bit closer to it, you clocked it on the way in. It's a catapult. It's basically a catapult. And you can see it's on a sort of swivel. It's in good repair. It's in good nick. This is a siege weapon that this gnome person had decided to tell you that she was going to use it as a transportation device. But there you go. Sorry, Mark, did you say something?
No, I was just sat here like a lettuce, listening to the proceedings.
Okay. So this is where I'm going to go a little bit Tony Robinson's time team on you. The front of the keep, there are these excavation sites. Most of them are sort of dug and cleaned, straight walls, nice clean. And there's always ruins underneath. And this is where you find Becklin. So she's dressed in simple clothes now. You'd easily miss her as a sort of commoner or a peasant of some description. And she hears you approach, and she jumps out of one of these excavation sites and dusts herself off. I mean, you can tell. I mean, this woman's in her 50s, but she's in good nick. You know, your strong, corded arms.
Would you? Is that just so we know?
I'll give you the picture. You could tell me if you would, Mark. Let's give you Becklin again.
Women are utterly appalled to discover that the first thing, and we all do this, we all do it. The first thing that we do ever on seeing a girl for the first time, the first thing we do is decide whether we want to shag her or not. And we can't help it. We just do that. You see a girl, go, would you? That's what your brain says. It's like, oh no. It's bad. We're bad.
Well, we're not bad. It's just what we are, Mark.
We're normal. Yeah, it's being a bloke, yeah.
So that's Becklin of Vaharin, obviously dressed in rags now. Dusts herself off. I'm not surprised. She's got a backbone. And she says, "Morning, gentlemen. Morning. Oh, it's great to see you." And she says, "Darren, oh, you've got the pasties," because she's not American. She knows what they're properly called. But Darren goes, "What? You mean hand pies?"
Yeah.
And she'll say, "Thanks for coming, chaps. Sorry about this. I thought I'd get a little dig in before our meeting, but I'll clean up. I'll meet you inside in the library if you want to head in."
Okay.
And she leads to, and she'll say to Darren, get them comfy, will you? And he's like, yeah, of course, yeah, no problem. So she, the Thornwall Keep, it's very nice. It is crumbling. It is clearly an old tower, an old keep, but it's well maintained. It's comfortable. Everything that you would expect for modern Kryn amenities are all there. It's not drafty. It's nice and light and airy. And the library that Darrett takes you to is very ornate. There's lots of books. I mean, clearly that Becklin and Darrett spend a lot of time here. It's comfortable and very light. So Becklin comes back in, and she'll say, and it's quite an obvious dismissal. She'll say to Darrett, "Thanks, Darrett. Leave the pasties there. Watered. What would you have for breakfast, do you reckon? Because everyone seems to drink alcohol all the time if you watch TV and films, don't they? Like watered wine or watered mead or something."
That'd be. I'd see. Sure.
It'd be water or watered down, or milk maybe, or something like that.
Yeah.
Wasn't it a very watered ale
Fruit
or wine
juice.
because the alcohol was supposed to make the water cleaner, basically.
Yeah, alcohol's a strong antiseptic.
Yeah, so they used to mix it with alcohol to clean the water, didn't they?
It was the brewing or fermenting process, what do you call it for wine? It's not brewing, is it?
No, it is fermenting, I think.
Fermenting,
right.
yeah.
Well, whatever the process is, when you turn, stuff into booze, it's any little living organisms in there are just not having it. So you know that once you've made it alcoholic, it's safe to drink to a limit.
Okay, so we'll have watered wine then, shall we?
Yeah.
And she'll and it's a clear dismissal. She'll say, "That's all for now, Darrett," as he leaves, and she sits down.
I'll just wait. I'll just give him the hand. Later, sort of thing, as he leaves.
The Solamnic salute that we now know. Yeah, and and so she sits down, hands out the pasties, and she sort of tucks into it. She say, "So, I mean, the reason I've called you here is it's been left you something." She's sort of talking to you as she's eating breakfast. But I mean, so far I've known you for less than 24 hours, and you've told me about these creatures that no one's ever heard about that you've attacked and you slew. We've had knights being killed. We've had reports from the Cudgels lot that they've corroborated your story. We know elves are moving. The whole of the Sylvanasti nation seems to have abandoned Sylvanost. Do you need to tell me anything else? Is there anything else we need to discuss?
Do we? I mean, we would have discussed this. We did discuss it. We did discuss this, wouldn't we? What we were going to say and what we weren't going to say. That would have been a priority before bed conversation.
Yeah, or maybe like an early morning conversation before.
Yeah. So what did we agree on? We were played it pretty close to our chest, weren't we? Do we trust her? Do we think we should bring up what we know, or just fob her off for now?
I mean, it sounds like she knows most of what we know, with the exception of
the
what
big
happened
thing
in the tomb.
Yeah.
So I guess that's down to you two, really.
I don't know. I mean,
The instruction we were given was to spread the word, wasn't it?
But I mean, I noticed that Kel was quite, cautious. I don't want to jump in and drop it. So I'd basically just be looking at him with the sort of questioning, do we? Sort of look.
Well, we knew Ispin to be quite a. I'm asking Dave here, I guess. Don't mean to metagame, but knew Ispin to be quite a good judgment of character, didn't we?
Ispin was ace. He was just a genuinely nice human being that.
Yeah. So if Ispin trusted her, then I guess so do we.
Do I get the go ahead? Does anyone give me the go ahead, or?
Yeah,
I think it's important to remember, Tom, as well. She is a knight of your order as well.
Not my order. I'm not a Solamnic knight.
Oh, okay.
Of Arthas'
Lady.
order, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, there was hesitance, I think, in the previous session because we didn't. I think it
was all very. We'd only just literally just met them. Met them.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean,
because it's be yourself I'm looking at, because you were the cautious one, so I'd just be looking at you, looking for the go ahead. If either the nod or the shake that says don't go on,
he'd give you a slight nod. I mean, I know Nordan was also a little hesitant as well, but
yeah, because it was the whole they hadn't heard anything. That was what raised my suspicion.
Yeah, well, I'll also have a quick glance at Nordan then as well, just to see what.
He's eating his pie.
Yeah.
Gulping his watery wine.
So he's not paying any attention. So I said, well, we think you might need to sit down. We've got something reasonably, ridiculously interesting to tell you.
Okay, intriguing. So
shit moment.
Yeah. She just stood to pour you all some of this watered round, and she turns back. She says, "That's interesting. You."
I'll take off my
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Ispin always told me that you. It was an exciting time every time he went partying with you boys, but she sits and looks at you intently now.
I'll take the the medallion that I got from the tomb from around my neck and just show it to her and just say, "Do you know what that is?"
Okay. Sounds like you dropped it on the floor.
It does. Fill in with a tank coin. Sorry.
Well, no, just I put it on the table and it makes that noise when I do.
Let me give her a religion check then. Right, I'm going to turn you into a temporary dungeon master then, gentlemen. She rolls 12 for her religion check. Do you think she would know?
Well, I mean, the symbol is the symbol of Paladin, right? The king of the old gods. I think that would be a 10 DC if it was me.
Yeah, given that she's a knight of Solamnia as well.
Yeah, recognising the sigil, I think she would know.
Okay.
That much. Do you know what I mean?
Agreed.
Maybe not recognise the significance of these two having it now, but would recognise the sigil on the pendant.
Right. Okay. So her response then, as you, because it's a hefty thing.
Yeah.
And she looks it over, and she looks back at you. You say, "Yeah, sure. This is the symbol of one of the old gods." And she sort of weighs it in her hand, and then you can sort of see her. And she looks confused and passes it back to you.
Right. Just because I've got to tell the man, just Dave, what was the god that gave us the medallions? Was it Paladin himself?
Yeah,
I can't remember. Right, okay. So obviously, Arthas would have remembered that. It was quite important. I said, well, you're not going to believe this, but I hope that we've managed to earn your trust. I mean, everybody here, apart from yourself, will testify that this is the absolute truth. They were given to us by Paladin.
And a tomb dedicated to the old gods.
Mm-hmm. Which you would have chipped in when I forgot to say it.
So she's looking between the two of you. Let's have a charisma roll.
Right, it's not I'm not best.
It'll
Who's
be
best? It's going to be
persuasion. Well, you did most of the talking, Mark, which is why I was confused as to why you were doing most of the talking. But make you can have. In fact, both of you make a persuasion check.
I'll say a little prayer before, just to see if I can get any insight into.
Well, it's a conversation, and then you've just because it's verbal as well.
Okay, fair enough. I've already had the conversation. I'll let you off with that. Oh, that's rubbish.
Okay, so she raises an eyebrow at Arthas, and you can see a look as she raises an eyebrow, and then she looks a little bit disappointed. And then when Kelevendros mentions in a temple of the old gods, she sort of thinks about it for a second. She says, "Right, gentlemen. So just to be clear," and she looks at Arthas and she'll say, "The festivities of last night are over. What you're telling me is truth."
I'll turn to Nordan and say, look. I can understand why she might doubt us. I mean, this is big news. Will you and oh my God, Kender, I forgot your name. That's really terrible. Leggit. Will you and Leggit, back us up? Say what just to try and convince that obviously it's a big deal.
So I think Nordan would probably lean back because he's just been sort of tucking away, letting the conversation roll, and he'd just sort of sit back and look at. And these guys would recognise instantly he's gone from typical Nordan to Nordan's about to
serious Nordan.
Serious Nordan. Like he's flicked that switch, and he'll be like, and he'll just look at it and go, "What would we gain from lying? There's nothing to gain. We were all there. We all saw it. We all heard it. They are telling you the truth."
I'll just be going like this.
Leggit will jump on, just say, lady, I swear on my life, for what it's worth, that this is the truth. Okay,
so you can see a range of emotions crash in her face, and she's thinking, "Can't be. Holy shit, can't be. Is it? If it is, no, can't be." And she's there for a good. I mean, it's 350 years. The cataclysm was thrown down. A fiery mountain was thrown down by the gods to punish human beings, to punish humanity, to punish the world for unknown transgressions. And yet here you are, 4 people she's never met before, although you come with a good reputation.
And I'll just say, as I see the, obviously we're silent now. She's weighing this up. I'll just say to her, "Have you noticed the stars?" It says the valiant warrior has come to Earth to fight the evil queen. Something
nice. And she'll say, "I have noticed the stars."
Well, it puzzled us immensely.
Yeah.
Immensely.
What does this mean then? What's how
the old gods? So the old gods are real and they're back. We don't know why. Why now?
So with the mention of the old gods are back, you see her dawning on her face, and it's so all of the gods are back.
It looks that way.
So not just Paladin.
Oh, Takesis is. Well, would I know her name?
Yeah.
Would I know that? Says Takesis is has returned. Was at least all we can tell you for sure now is that the Platinum Dragon and oh God, the one whose name I just said, Takesis,
Queen of Darkness.
Yeah, we can pretty much say for sure, judging by what we've seen, that those two at least are back.
You might go some way to explain our troubles on the road.
Interesting.
These strange creatures. I mean, we've never seen anything like this before, but they did resemble dragons facially.
Did they
They
have any
resemble
symbols
dragons.
on them? Did they have?
They did, and I will refer to the person who made a note of what that was.
Give me a second. I'm looking.
Top me drink.
Topping his drink up.
Yeah. I reckon Throttle's got the best chance, out of the three of you.
Yeah. That's NPCs.
They had sigils, didn't they?
I think they did, yeah. But
it was because you didn't recognise the symbol initially. You rolled poorly. You went to the temple, and then it clicked into place. You saw the Platinum Dragon Paladin opposite Takesis, and the symbol on Takesis is sort of like 5 daggers, like a 5-pointed star, but they're sort of like curly daggers type thing, and that's what the Draconians were wearing. I'll save you the anguish of looking through the rest of it.
There's some space on the page. I was supposed to go back, I think, and make some of the notes that I missed. So everything was happening a bit quick.
Yeah. Well, there you go, mate. Write it in.
If I can find, but I'm typing the notes today because I can't find a pen. But I will go back. I've got 4 days off, so I'll go back and get it sorted.
Nice. So she sort of looks towards you then, and she'll say, "So you have the powers of the old gods. The powers have returned, as well as the old gods."
Yes, I would just say.
Yeah, this is incredible. Might I suggest you keep these powers under wraps for as much as possible? I
think that may be wise.
That is, in fact, why we have been so.
It's why we didn't tell you before.
Hesitant, yeah. Why we were so hesitant to speak to you on the matter.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I say it, I've heard rumours of people being burnt as witches. Whole villages turning against people that claim they have powers. I know, and she looks towards Nordan and says, "I know people from your order have been persecuted similarly, but it's interesting. I mean, Vogler is possibly the best, nicest place on Kryn, but I still not entirely sure how people would respond to it."
Is there any sort of bugs crawling about anywhere or flies buzzing around? Any sort of very small sort of insecty type?
Yeah.
I'll say I've learned. I know I've never done this. I say to her, I've never done this before, but I know I can do it. Watch, and I'll sacred flame the moth or whatever, or the fly, whatever it is that we've seen.
Interesting.
And you just see a pure white flame engulf this blue bottle, and it turns it to ash.
Okay.
And you lot have never seen me do that either.
No,
I'm looking almost as amazed as everybody else.
Nordan would just turn to be like, "I am the magic user here."
I'm just gonna be like, I don't really understand yet. But you would recognise, wouldn't he, that it's not arcane magic that I just used? Would
yes,
Nordan
absolutely.
know that?
Yeah. Well, Nordan knows you, and he knows what you've been through recently. But also, bizarrely, Nordan has a similar spell that he can cast as a Lunar sorcerer.
Yes.
So yeah, very much so. He would know exactly what it is, but the source of the magic. Whereas on Kryn, the source of magic all comes through the moons, predominantly the gods of the moons, but it's sort of channeled through the power of the moons. This isn't that. This is something different, and the only conclusion that anyone can come to is it's divine, from a divine source. So Becklin at this, she's just amazed, and she'll say, "So, and you have the power because people said before."
I don't know how I know this, but if you were to be to take a minor wound, I know I could heal it instantly. I don't know how I know that, but I know that I could.
This is exciting. This is the news that. Interesting. Why now? Why you for?
We know not.
Because we're the flirty for foursome.
Oh, he's off. Is that score one?
Yeah.
Got my list of adjectives, boys.
So she'll say, "Well, interesting, and Ispin was right about you." She'll look towards Arthas and she'll say, "You keep your head, though, Squire."
Well, yes, she doesn't know me, does she? So I'll just nod and say, "Don't worry about us. This is we're not likely to go and cause a scene. Very unlikely."
So, okay. Well, let's move to the business as to why you're here. So she says, "Something for you." Steps out of the room. Becklin re-enters the room carrying a shallow wooden box, approximately 3 feet to a side. She sets it down gently on the table. "Ispin left this for all of you," she explains, "but it comes with a condition. Since he won't be attending the Kingfisher Festival this year, he wanted you all to participate for him. Specifically, he'd hope you'd take his place during the reenactment of the Battle of High Hill. Every year he looked forward to participating and dying in an even more ludicrous way than last year." Becklin smiles.
Had we already agreed to do this? Had we agreed to do this
Pretty
earlier?
Becklin smiles as the memory as she opens the box. Inside the box, although it has been modified, is Ispin's shield. It's no longer green. It is polished, mirror bright, with metal around the side of it, and a symbol of a rose and a kingfisher in the middle. And
Wow!
she'll present it to you all.
Mine.
I'll take care of it if everyone wants. If we sell it, then we'll split the money. But we possibly wouldn't mind using it until that date.
I'll tell you this. It's massive spoiler. This, there's only Mark that can use it. I mean, Kel's two-handed, and you've got a rogue and a sorcerer. The campaign is telling me to give you a round green shield. It doesn't fit you. So I mean, you can style it however you want. I thought the rose and the kingfisher would be.
Yeah, no, that's exactly. That's why I'd have been staring at it in awe.
Yeah.
Looking, wow.
Yeah. So it's his legacy. And Becklin will turn to you and say, "Did Ispin ever tell you how we came across the shield?" And he wouldn't. I don't think he'd have told you.
We'll say, no, he never did. He always told us it was magic and fantastic and saved him many times, but he never told us where he got it from.
It is. So she takes it out and she passes it on purpose. She passes it in a clockwise direction furthest away from Arthas, because she knows where it's going to end up. And, you all get it, and it's fine craftsmanship. And she says that he used to insist, and it's not very often that Ispin used to insist on anything. Everything was open for a joke. Nods towards Nordan. But he said he got it from Darkenwood. It's in Abernacinia, way down south and to the west, from a unicorn in a place called Darkenwood, if you believe him. But here we are.
Well, we didn't know there was such a thing as gods, so there might be such a thing as unicorns. We don't know. I'm starting to get to the point where I could believe almost anything.
Ispin was a unicorn of a man.
We had been told, many women had said so.
Very, very good, Sam. Very good.
I weren't going that way with it. I just meant he was special. But you know, if you want to make a
One of a
exception, Mark,
kind, yeah.
And then Mark made it dirty.
just lower that bar.
It was a lovely moment until Downing turned up.
Yeah. Did you
Um,
see that when the fellow in London who was stabbing people got attacked by a restaurant manager wielding a narwhal tusk?
Yep.
That
He
was a
got some
terrorist
sort
one.
of bravery award for it.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Some terrorists in
he's an
London.
ex-con as well.
Yeah, two blokes went after him, and one of them had grabbed this narwhal tusk out of a
Which
restaurant.
is about 8 feet long.
Used it like a spear.
There's something
Anyway,
very
sorry,
metal about that, isn't there?
Yeah, there is defo.
If someone's coming at me with a knife, then I'm reaching for a spear.
That's not a knife. This is a narwhal tusk.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
I haven't seen that for years.
So as you sort of pass the shield around between you all, it gets to Arthas. Because you've seen the shield hundreds of times, you've actually, Ispin's, you've asked, and Ispin's let you use it and look at it. So it is, and I'll tell you, you don't need to identify it. It is a shield +1, Mark.
Nice.
Oh, awesome.
So it is magic.
It is,
No,
it is
so
magic.
I'll offer my other shield to Leggit and go, there you go, you can have that if you want.
How big
It
the
is
shield?
big as he is.
Yeah, I was about to say, how big is it?
It's got a metal rim, so it is shiny.
Okay. So it's like we're trying to lift it up and then hold it over his head, but then just topple over back.
No, well, I think we'll have to take it off him. Never mind.
Brilliant. Smashing. So
We should look at that.
Becklin continues to. She basically goes on to tell you about the Battle of High Hill, and she'll say to you, so what used to happen is by the time the battle started, because the festivities in the Kingfisher Festival will start about midday. The usual routine is walk around the stalls. It's basically a day where no one works and we just look after each other and spend a bit of time with each other, enjoy good food and good wine. Then there is a fishing competition which goes on for a couple of hours. You get a 30-minute slot. The length of fish that you manage to pull out of the Vingard River is then measured, and obviously the winner takes much more bragging rights than anything else. And then it's the Battle of High Hill. By this time, Ispin used to be absolutely bladdered. So we always positioned him on top of the hill, and we told him that this was the headquarters position. He was too drunk to do anything else normally by this point. So if you stay on the top of the hill, and also in fairness, we'd like you to watch our militia, see if there's anyone that you think they've got promise. We need to organise. We need to get, and apologies, Sam, we need to get the private's the lowest rank, isn't it? So would it be corporal, sergeant?
Yeah, in the British Army, it goes private, lance corporal, corporal, sergeant. But I think lance corporal's a more modern rank, so I think it usually goes private. In an older setting, you'd go private corporal.
Right. Okay. So she says, if
what I
we're
mean?
going to organise, we've got plenty of privates, but we need to identify the corporals and the sergeants. We need this to happen as soon as possible. So this is your task today: is try and identify the people that show promise. And then obviously we can see what we can do with them. The hill will be surrounded by the Astarian troops. They're all the what were they called?
Jeff.
The Jeff Brigade. I can't let that one slide, Mark, I'm afraid. Cudgel, Iron Smile, Ironclads, Iron.
Ironside comes into my head, but I don't think it's Ironside either.
No.
That's what I'm thinking of Bjorn Ironside, aren't I?
Well, it's Cudgel's mercenary troop. Apologies. I'm normally better at this. I've had so little sleep. Doesn't matter. Well, you know what I mean anyway.
Yeah.
So they're going to be charging towards, and your troops will be charging down the hill. So the advantage, the numbers are with the Astarians. The advantage in terms of on the charge is with us because they're coming at us uphill, and obviously the Knights of Solamnia with Lord Decatur Vogler did actually win. So stand at the top until you're called as reserves, and then back to the Brass Crab for ale and medals, if that sounds agreeable to you.
That sounds good to me.
It's the Ironclad Regiment. You were right, Dave. It is the Ironclad Regiment.
Thanks, dude.
Just to
Lance
just
Corporal
to
was
veer off
introduced.
track a little bit, Dave.
Yeah, sure.
Lance
You
Corporal was
want-
introduced late 18th century, so I was kind of right.
Yeah, that's something that British. Wasn't there an old rank called an ensign? Wasn't that a rank in British
That's
Army?
Navy.
That's Navy.
Is that Navy?
Yeah.
Completely
Yeah,
different
go-
structure. Don't even ask me.
Sorry.
Go on, Andy.
I was just going to inquire about the because Leggit being Leggit, he's always got money, treasure on the mind. He's thinking back to when he's passed these excavation sites to ruins, where he thinks ruins are. There's going to be actually buried treasure. Can he inquire about the excavation sites and what they're actually digging up?
Absolutely, yeah.
To,
What we'll do, we'll fit this in when she's having the chit chat before
Sure.
the shield comes out, and she is more than happy to discuss. You can tell by how she's talking about these things, she becomes very animated. That this is sort of her passion. Digging up old things, and she sort of looks at you slyly as you sort of veer towards the treasure aspect of it, and she'll say, "Yeah, unfortunately, there's not much money in it. I have heard." In fact, she points to one particular book that there was a professor, archaeologist called Professor Indiana. Would you believe? And he used to make a living out of digging up excavation sites and. He used to go into old temples and things like that. Around here, it's unlikely. If you happen to find buried treasure, I don't think it'd be in the ruins of a castle. It's more likely to be randomly in a cave somewhere. But no, it's. Are you interested in history? And she's sort of trying to get you engaged and involved.
Yeah, and he'll kind of just weigh you up and then kind of drift off. It's just,
Yeah, typical Kender, even though you're not.
yeah.
So
Can't help it, honestly.
she's the conversation's wound down to the point where she's not really discussing much else other than the Kingfisher Festival and the battle at High Hill. What do you guys want to do? Do we need to talk to Becklin about anything else?
I'm good unless anybody else has got any business to want to attend to.
No,
Okay.
she will sort of, as a party, she'll say, I normally take part in the actual me and Cudgel and probably Mayor Vogler will stay out of the fighting. It's a younger woman's game, really, and Mayor Vogler's not much. I mean, she's a wonderful mayor, she's a wonderful human being, but she's not much of a fighter. So we'll stand to one side. And she sort of says, "Okay, now I'm going to answer this question myself. I was going to ask, do you mind if I tell Cudgel about your revelation about the gods? But I think I'll leave that up to you guys."
It may be not right now. Maybe when you know full well it's safe to tell him. When we know there's not going to be anyone around or potentially. I mean, I don't mind if he knows, but he'd have to make sure that he kept it under his hat.
Yeah. Okay, right. Well, I'll tell you what, then, gentlemen. There's plenty for me to prepare. Then, if you stay as long as you like, but I've got other things that I need to do. But I will see you.
Cudgel did in fact ask us for a meeting, so perhaps we will maybe discuss it with them. And yeah, Cal, I was saying that to Beckham. So.
Did you have something, Mark?
Where would my gold be on my character sheet, Dave? I'm being
Inventory. I think it's normally at the top, isn't it?
Inventory. Right, I'm on inventory.
Yes, top right hand corner.
Top right. I've got 10 gold. Right, wicked. As we've looked at, is there like a, like a watch? Civilians, that patrol. Keep the place safe. You know what I mean?
like a city watch.
Yeah.
They're not in Vogler. They've never needed one. This is one of the things that Ispin would have told you in the past. They have Becklin serves as the sort of the guardian. She's there to make sure law and order is maintained. Yeah, there's ne'er-do-wells. There's lads that that possibly drink too much, and but there's certainly there's nothing dodgy happens in Vogler. Yeah. Why do you ask?
It's Becklin. No, just I have a spare. I find myself with a spare shield. I was going to donate it.
Okay. She'll sort of say, "Oh, no, I'll keep this for you."
I'll just hand the normal. I don't want to be looking two shields around.
Yeah. It'll come in handy.
I mean, Cal could carry it for you. I mean, he's not going to use it, but he could. He's chuck it on his back with his sword. By all means, if you want to keep hold of it.
If she says she'll keep hold of it, we'll leave it here for the new.
The militia could use it. It's any donations will be welcome for the Vogler.
Yeah. In which case, I'll say you can. Just have. Just take that now. I mean, none of the rest of us have got any need for a shield. So.
Okay. So she bids you farewell. As you, this is the Kingfisher Festival blurb. Then, so as you emerge from, I'm struggling today, Thornwall Keep. You've been there for a good few hours discussing what you need to discuss. So it's approaching midday and the start of the festival. Colourful banners and paper decorations shaped like kingfishers decorate the village circle. Temporary stalls sell food and colourful crafts, and in the centre of the circle, an ancient tree provides shade for happy picnickers. From a temporary stage, a band of local musicians bring a spirited song to a close as Mayor Raven Uthvogler takes to the stage. So, let's give you some pictures. This one is the mayor, if you remember.
Oh yeah.
And let's give you the.
Does she still have the fish?
She's not moved it. She takes the tail in two hands and walks.
Slaps you around the face really hard.
So this is the scene that's sort of unfolding. The village, as you're walking through now, they've got their Sunday best on, or they've got the Kingfisher Festival best on, and the smells are incredible, the noises are incredible. There's just everyone's happy. You do bump into
two men who are kissing.
There's two men kissing.
Very inclusive picture that is, Dave.
It is, yeah. Well, I mean, they like to be. I think it's nice. That's what I meant to give you. I'm going to make these all visible. Tell you about them as we go. So this was Darrett. I had a Darrett picture with his pasty in his hand.
Yay! Hand pie.
Yeah. No, hand pie. So this is, if you recall, this is Bakaris the Younger. He was the posh knob. He's stood around, and they're actually having a good time. They do seem to be getting involved with this elder-looking gentleman. This is clearly Lord Bakaris, so he would be Bakaris's dad. So
bit of a lap fad.
Yeah, a little bit. So Raven takes to the stage, and she says, "Welcome, friends." The mayor begins, raising her voice and arms high. "Welcome to the Kingfisher Festival." Cheers and applause fill the circle. The mayor smiles widely. Today is a day not of not only revelry but also reflection. We are here to thank the courage of heroes who came before us. Let us honour our founders, our family, and all those who can't be here to celebrate today. Enjoy your festival. Enjoy your festival, Vogler, with good spirits, good times, and good friends. And look to the Kingfisher for good luck. An energetic round of cheers follow the mayor's words. With that, the Kingfisher Festival is officially underway. So there's plenty to do here. The fishing competition is going to start anytime soon. But there's pies. Most people are sort of selling things. It's only about 3 copper for a pie or for a drink. No one's giving stuff out for free, unfortunately. They all need to make a living.
Bastards.
What do you want to do?
Fishing.
Yeah,
Straight to the fishing.
I think.
Yeah,
I'm going to do
Leggit
what
would
I
be
do in
better.
real life, which is just wander around looking at stuff and not spending it. Spend ages in each stall going, and just walking away.
Yeah, so I think historically, Cal spends a lot of time. So if we've like camped for a day, if we've been together, we've not been rushing around, and we're near somewhere that's got water, Cal would always set time to go fishing just because he finds it relaxing.
Okay.
A bit of a pastime for him. So he's
Lord just
definitely
wants
interested in the
to eat.
fishing.
Wicked. What were you going to say, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, partaking in the fishing. I mean, Leggett's quite a competitive chap. Unless there's any other sort of competitions going about the festival.
There'll be loads of
he's very-
opportunity to steal stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, he's very interested in the fishing.
Yeah. I'm also going to keep my eye out for Kenders, Dave, other than Leggit.
Well, there is one, if you remember. There was a you met
I'm just
Frost.
going to make sure I know where they are at all times.
Oh, okay. Frostwind. He was a stall owner. He made puppets from fish bones
Hamsters.
and things of that nature. But everyone was accepting of him. You do see, I mean, in the picture, you've got a family of Kender in the front right.
Yeah, just by the 2 blokes who are kissing.
Yeah.
Yes,
So there's plenty of mixed races around.
Yeah.
I guess when he goes past the Kender, he'll kind of just grab the top knot and then just like do the the Mr. Bean measurement, where he goes like, I don't know if you remember the Mr. Bean sketch.
I do.
He measures a cutout for his wall with his fingers and then walks over like that. He does that, but with the top knot, and just puts it on top of his head like that, and he goes, walks away.
So they think it's hilarious. They'll start bombarding you with questions about where's your top knot, where are you from, and all that kind of business. So is everyone other than Arthas taking part in the fishing? Yeah.
Yes, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll take it the reenactment will be later.
Yeah, the reenactment starts after the fishing's finished. What usually
Yeah,
happens in the
so,
festival, they'll explain to you that there's a 2-hour window where you have half an hour to fish. So the cycle around the whole village, virtually the whole of the wharf and the dockside here are for fishermen as well. So there's plenty of space.
Oh, I'll just go with the other 2 then as moral support and just lay down and enjoy the nice weather.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's nice weather.
It is. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
So let's have some rolls then. So every 10 minutes, so there's 3 d20 rolls. So those fishing, the first thing I need you to do is roll a flat d20.
Are there any rules to the fishing competition, Dave?
Interesting. Do you have your own equipment? Do you have your anything of that nature?
No.
No.
I have a trick or 2 up my
Rules.
sleeve.
Okay. There's are there any rules? There's no mention of rules, but
Okay.
yeah.
That'll do, mate.
I'm intrigued. So the first d20 roll is just a basic. Do you catch anything?
Okay.
just in case for shenanigans, so you know how the mechanics of this is going to work. After you've rolled your d20 to see if you catch something, you then roll a DC survival check to see if you can land it.
Kel got some fucking air. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, I think so. Cal isn't competing at all, so he's thrown his line, he's put it in the ground, and he's just sat there, just enjoying the weather. Like he does it as a pastime. He's not competing at all. He's just there to have a good time in the sun. Just there, like.
Sounds good to me. Leggit landed 11. So after about 5 minutes or so, Leggit gets a pull on the line. Let's have a survival check from Leggit then, please.
Wow.
The fish gets away just as it's about to surface and take that lung of air, and you know it's in the bag. The line snaps.
I tell you what, mate. You know my new dice.
Yeah.
I've not seen it before, but I've got some wicked animations that come up on it. Like when I rolled a natural one, then like a squid came up and just put the dice and took it away.
Wicked.
Amazing. Sorry.
You can get D20 online that instead of having a 1, it just says fuck.
So Nordan needs to make a survival check.
Oh.
You managed to land a tiny cuirassed carp, which is 1 foot long.
I'm going to cheer him.
So if you can make, so you're basically 1 so far. So let's go to the second 10-minute. If you'll roll d20,
Though he'll know it's small, he'll look at the other two and be like,
you could eat a foot's worth of fish, right? That's
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah.
Wow, Tom.
So Cal's asleep. Just
Look it out.
Really, Kel's really enjoying
It's
himself.
not also, is it?
no, he's just he might be just
Oh,
chatting away with Arthas or something,
Yeah.
Talking about how times he's just completely not with it.
So look, you can both roll your survival checks at the same time if you want. 10 and 11, it's the same DC. So Nordan, in fact, you both managed to land your fish this time, and it's another tiny cuirassed carp. Obviously, you're into the school of cuirassed carp. So that's Sam's now 2, Nordan's got 2 feet worth of fish, and Leggett's got 1. Last D20 roll.
So how'd you win, Dave? Is it
It's
the
the
biggest
total length.
Right, okay. So after
good.
you put
Like-
another foot-long one, Nordan wants to look to see if he can see a bigger fish.
Right. So you're actually going in for the full competition now then?
Yeah, he's competing.
Right. Give me a survival check now then.
Well, so there's a reason that I want to see if I can spot a big fish.
Right. So
Because
do
I'm
you
going to mage hand it out of the water.
Ooh. Okay.
So he's like, okay, I've got these 2 smaller fish.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think I'm just going to, screw it.
Okay.
So 2 questions, Dave.
Yeah.
I rolled an 18 on my survival check. Is my fish bigger than Sam's original fish?
No.
Or, okay. Second question. Not second question. I'm thinking, or Leggett's thinking, if the pasties smell good to me, they're going to smell damn good to the fish. So he's going to sort of mould a little bit of the pasty. He's got stored away around the hook and cast that.
Right.
Just as a
Okay.
little bit of extra bait
Nice.
on that hook.
Okay. Nice. Right. Okay. How are we gonna manage? It's gonna be a rough ass, dude. It's all I'm thinking of is what was the Tom Hanks film where he was on an island?
Castaway.
Castaway. So you remember the scene? It was a 10 years later scene. It was really, really well done. He's trying to stab a fish in the first scene. In the second scene, he throws it from a distance.
Yeah.
Now, how often would Nordan have tried to catch fish with his mage hand?
Terrible. He'd never done it before.
Okay.
But
So-
now he's like, okay, I've got these 2 okay fish. I want to win.
I want to win. So what we need to establish first is can you see a fish? So that's going to be a perception. Okay. That's a natural 20. Okay, right. What I'm going to ask just before we go any further, I would like your other two to make your D20 rolls.
Okay.
I'm rolling rocks on this fish.
I'm going for the third natural one. Come on. Oh shit.
Don't you get inspiration for the natural one?
Oh yeah, in the new 1D&D rules. So actually, how many natural ones has Kelevendros rolled so far?
2, and I've just rolled a natural 20.
So the first one, well, both would give you inspiration. The first one you get. The second one you can pass to someone else who isn't Mark, because Mark automatically gets one when he finishes a long rest because he's human.
Do I?
Yeah.
So I've got inspiration.
Yeah,
Oh.
but you all lose it after a long rest, apart from Mark
Yeah.
who gets it back because he.
I will give it. The thing is,
Bop.
Cal isn't a competitive person, but Nordan really is. I'll tell you what. What do you want? Something on the coin tap, Sam? Heads or tails?
Heads.
Here's the Vatan head. I'll give you my.
As it is.
So Sam gets it. As it is.
So I'm going to use my inspiration with my mage hand.
Okay, so what's going to happen now then is something. Someone gets onto the stage, which is way behind you, and obviously it's like the Ed Sheeran of Vogler, and there's a cheer and everyone starts to turn around, even though you're getting close to the end. Everyone sort of cheers and turns around to applaud, with the exception of Nordan, and just out from the wharf is there's a small island, and you can see the dorsal fin and the tail of a humongous creature just swim around in the water and dive down. And as you turn back, and it's a little bit of deja vu for you, and you get a flashback to the barb, and that little shit Leggit has done it again. He turns around and applauds, and his perfect cast just happens to go exactly where this creature was.
Yeah.
So now we have the survival roll to see if you can pull it in. So just before you click it, what I'm going to ask is where are we? What did Kelevendros last on your D20?
I rolled a natural 20.
Let's say Leggit got a 4.
Oh, sorry. I beg your pardon. So it's not Leggit.
I was about to say, I didn't want to say enough.
Yeah. My bad. So so you don't get a flashback to the barb. We'll change the narrative ever so slightly. It's that competitive, non-competitive half elf lad. So let's do yours first, Mr. Johnson. Do your survival roll first, just to see if you can land this one.
Do I actually get a survival roll with a 4?
You do get a survival roll with a 4. Yeah, there's a lot of fish in the river.
Oh, fucking hell.
6, you don't manage to land it. It's very close, but not quite. Right. So you ready then, gentlemen? Survival check to see if you can land this monster of a fish.
And I'm going to use my inspiration on this. not because Cal's particularly trying, but because I want to fuck my brother.
Right.
That's
What an arse.
So
Yeah.
I'll count you down. This is going to go badly if you both land it.
So we're doing it with advantage, aren't we?
You're both.
Yeah.
You're spending your inspiration point. You're both doing it with an
Yeah.
advantage. Are you ready to click it?
Yeah.
How do you? Yeah. So I can obviously
Right
click, just click.
Right click your plus.
Got it.
And then you
Yep.
select advantage and roll at the bottom.
Okay.
Got it.
So ready? 3, 2, 1, roll.
Oh.
What
I've been dropping 20s left, right, and centre.
Both of your lines. Well, what's going to happen is Kelevendros is going to hook this creature, and it's going to start thrashing around, and then Nordan lifts this creature from behind, and the whole of everyone who's surrounded you, they all point and say, "They've got Benebog, the line breaker. They've got it. And then as you're pulling, your coordination goes in the opposite direction. The mage hand goes left. Kelevendros pulls to the right. Snap, and the hand dissipates as Benebog, the line breaker, crashes back into the river. Darts
Little
away,
bugger.
never to be caught. So I believe out of the three of you, Kelevendros got nothing. Leggit got 1. Nordan got 2. So there's lots of backslapping, and there's lots of, well, I mean, you're not. We do this for a living type thing. Yeah. So unfortunately, no bragging rights won between any of you.
Well, there were bragging rights.
But
Actually, yeah. I mean, you did get Benebog the line breaker on the line.
And I can
It's
brag against these two.
yeah. I mean, it's met with lots of laughs and cheers. The fact that you two seem to have conspired against each other to not catch the most famous fish in the river. But by the time you've finished, and lots of backslapping, how is everyone celebrating? Are we partaking in the local beverages and foods and things of that nature? I know Arthas isn't spending any money, but what's everyone else doing?
Kel probably is, but he's probably avoiding drinking anywhere near too much, knowing that they've got to go on the battlefield. So he's reserved. He partake of the food, but not necessarily of the drink.
Okay.
Nordan's probably drinking to the point where he's merry.
Okay.
So he's just drinking enough to be in a good mood.
Yeah.
But I will say, if anything, he's relaxed. Kel's very relaxed. That makes sense. He's very chilled, but he's not very at ease. But he's not drinking.
Yeah, but I'm still until they're finished with the fishing. I'm just chilling my beans, laying down next to the river with fish.
Leggit's pure hair of the dog. He's going full in.
Yeah.
So you tanked up.
Yeah. So you start to feel better, and then you start to feel worse real quick. But the the rest of the festival passes. It sort of starts to meander down, and everyone the hot topic is this. The high hill. It's usually just all of the local lads and lasses putting their armour on what they've got, and it's a bit of a free for all. This is a lot more organised. There's the mercenaries from Cudgel's mercenary brigade, and it's time to go. So all the musicians put their music down, or there's a troupe that walks with you. So High Hill is quite a bit north. Passing through the woods and fields, Vogler's parade of militia members and reenactment spectators finally reach High Hill. The grassy slope is spotted with trees and crumbled stone fencing. Near the base, several dozen soldiers in matching armour stand in even formation. The contrast is striking between these mercenaries and the ironclad regiment and Vogler's militia. Oh, so tired today. With the mismatched armor and crooked helmets. But it
He said
does nothing to dampen the spirits of those assembled of the Kingfisher Festival's climactic reenactment. So, like I say, the positioning is all very formal. This is what happened during the battle, hundreds, if not thousands of years ago. You're going to be stationed at the top of High Hill. You've got all of your forces arranged in front of you. There's a wall that splits. It goes almost as if it goes up and then over High Hill, which is an ancient wall. There's a log on top, which is relatively new. But other than that, the Astarian forces will be charging.
I didn't push it away. Sorry.
Charging up the hill. So after much laughter and jostling, the mayor, Cudgel, and other spectators walk to a nearby vantage to watch. That includes Becklin. Darrett, you can't actually see. You would assume that he's in with the throng. As they do, the militia takes up its position atop High Hill. The same hill Solamic troops held centuries ago. They face the mercenaries of the ironclad regiment at the base of the hill, arrayed as the forces of Istar once were. Although the event is only a reenactment, a tangle of excitement fills the field. Somewhere on the line, a reenactor hoots and yells, "Let's send those Istarian rats running." A moment later, a trumpet blast signals the start of the battle. "For Istar!" yells the mercenaries' leader, who you recognise. In fact, he says, "For Istar!"
Yeah.
And you can see this 8-foot tall, solidly built motherfucker. He's surrounded by mounted soldiers as they start to charge up the hill. As they start to charge, your lads start to charge down as well, and it is absolute chaos. Would any of you have been in any kind of battle of this nature before?
Possibly not a real one, but I wonder if he might have been thrown into like training exercises maybe in his youth.
Okay, right.
Yeah, same
I
here.
don't know.
I was
don't
thinking
know.
something like that.
But you'd have thought,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
I don't know how if that's how the Solamic Knights train, but
This, I would. Well, I don't know. What do you think, Mark?
I reckon that we'd have, that we would have had some sort of formal, maybe like classroom learning about the actual battles and what happened. But as far as the tactics go, I think we'd know modern. Is it the same modern tactics that are used now?
Not much has changed in Kryn because as the ages have come and passed, it's kind of apocalyptic events that have reset the button on any advances. So I would say they're very similar.
In that case, I reckon that me and Kel certainly would have been, taught this sort of thing. But I personally, I don't know about Kel when I wasn't there, but I've never been in a real battle like this.
No.
Okay.
I would like I'd like to imagine that you would, like Tom sort of saying, you'd probably exercise it. So you'd have like wooden weapons and maybe fighting formations, and do you know what I mean, to give you that experience, a bit like modern day riot training.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where I'm coming from? So you would form up, you'd go through the process as if you were forming for battle and experience the noise. Do you know where I'm coming
yeah.
from?
I mean, there are records of medieval manuals of arms in the same way that
Yeah.
Arthur, the Civil War.
Yeah, there is.
Stuff, so.
They found out all sorts of mad shit they didn't know.
Yeah, so
Rather than
stands to
you
reason.
having been in a battle, you may have been in a recreation purely on a training basis, just to give you that sort of feel for the
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been shown the tactics
Right.
as part of the basic sort of fighter training.
Yeah, and,
So-
and as Cal probably isn't an Islamic knight, he was raised by one, so the chances are he was thrown in with that because there was nothing else to do with him. So,
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
What about Leggit? I'm assuming that this is all new to Leggit and Nordan. Well, Nordan.
Yeah. I mean, he's been in skirmishes before, but he's not. Yeah, nothing close to any sort of large scale battle before.
No, I think Nordan would be the same. He's had scraps, but never nothing formal.
Okay, so you can with Kel and Arthas then just give me a perception check for the pair of you. So you can see all around you there are wooden swords. There's mostly padding for those people that do have actual weapons.
Oh, sorry, I rolled the wrong thing.
Well, it's a roll of 6, isn't it?
People,
if they do own spears, there's a cover on the spear. If everything that's possibly sharp or dangerous has either been covered or sort of filed down or removed. But it is Arthas. There's an unexpected sound of metal clashing on armor, ringing across the field, silencing laughter and melodramatic boasts. A ribbon of red splashes over the grassy hill, followed by the shocking screams. Any pretense of reenactment shatters. High Hill is the site of a true battle once more. Within moments, all around you, armoured mercenaries attack unprepared villagers, fighting for their lives. And what you can see, and you can clearly see it coming from Gregonis's direction, is he's taken someone's arm off with a swipe of his battle axe. Blood sprays, there's screams, and the ironclad regiment draw steel and attack the unprepared and undisciplined Vogler militia.
Shit.
Yeah, Cal's sword's in his arm now. Fair steel. Wooden swords on the floor.
Okay. Bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to put your.
I might have to go and siphon some sausage juice very, very quickly before we get involved in killing someone.
Sure.
Siphon some sausage juice. I just.
his vocabulary is amazing.
It is. Does he come up with it just off the cuff?
Yeah.
Or does he think about these things before he actually says them?
Who knows?
Just like,
Did you go to university together, or have I made that up?
No. Well, Mark, I went to Wolverhampton. Mark went to Liverpool. But it was a mate of mine who did a course with Mark.
How well did he score? I bet he can write an assignment.
Yeah.
I bet he can write the shit out of an assignment.
He got, I think he got a 2-1. But it's yeah. I mean, it was geology that Mark was reading, and it was just about the field trips for him. I mean, if you wanted to ask him at any point, he will tell you, but I don't think there was much effort involved.
Oh, okay. I was going to get him to write mine for me.
It's a relatively small map, but you need to kind of get used to this going through the campaign. All of this fancy stuff around you, that for the campaign is known as the fray. If you enter into the fray, there's something happening in it. For this battle, that's where the Vogler militia and the Ironclad regiment have met each other. So High Hill, top of the hill, tree there. You boys are stood around a log, so you can arrange yourself anywhere you like, as long as you don't go too far away. Wall here, and you can sort of see you're at the top of the hill. The hill goes; it's a very steep decline here. Road round the bottom, and then, like I say, there's fighting all the way around. I'm going to have to repeat this when Mark gets back on. But what you see coming out of the fray, just arrange this so it makes a little bit more sense. Who's back? I've just explained loads, and I've just realised that you're not there. So, have you got the map? Is it loaded?
It should have. Let's have a look at the. Yes, I've got the sausage roll.
You boys are there. That's the top of the hill with a tree on it. That's the wall, and it's I mean, mechanically, it'd be what's the difficult terrain to get over. Out of the fray, you can see 3 mounted ironclad regiment mercenaries on war horses, all galloping towards you. Let's roll initiative.
Wankers.
So is that
face?
click on your token and then click roll initiative on the right hand side? Yeah?
Oh,
That's the
I've
one,
done it
dude.
on-
Yeah.
I've done
If
it on 3D.
everyone
God.
stands near me, I mean, you're not one to all the time, but I can react with my shield to impose disadvantage on anything that hits you.
I did it on roll 20. Not on roll 20. I did it on D&D.
Initiative 19. Yeah, that's no problem. If you just let me just
Do it
roll.
anyway.
So you got 19. Okay.
I'll get something really pokes. I always do.
Um,
Nice. Oh,
well,
medium.
the roll of 16 on map tools has put you in the right place anyway.
Yeah.
Sam. So yeah. So Leggit, first to react, you can see these 3 mounted militiamen on war horses charging towards you. What do you want to do?
Are the militiamen and the war horses separate targets?
Kinda. If you're trying for the militiamen, I'm going to give you they're going to be harder targets to hit.
The smaller.
Well, they're riding on top of them. This massive war horse is charging down on you. Well, it's actually coming up the hill. As it stands, you can just make them out. They're charging out of the fray up the hill. But that's all I'm thinking. They're coming uphill.
Right. Okay. So Leggit's going to try and get some elevation on these chaps because obviously the war horses are going to tower above him, so it's going to be a massive disadvantage if he's going to meet him head on. So he's going to head towards a tree and scramble up it.
Okay. Let's have. So that would be. It's a dexterity check of
Athletics
some
or
description. Is it just a flat dexterity check, do you think? Or
Athletics or acrobatics?
athletics or acrobatics? Athletics for me, for climbing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Acrobatic is more like, are you trying to do like flips or it's more
The only reason I say
dexterity,
that is athletics is strength, acrobatics is dex. That's why I suggested both.
Well, you've got to kind of pull yourself up, haven't you? It's not like you're flipping out of the way. Okay, 11. So you manage, what was it, 15 feet there. So I'm not going to give you 15 feet up, but you managed to get into the branches. So you're in partial cover. And it's quite a large oak, so you can still see. Let's say you're 5 feet up.
Yeah. Okay. I've still got a view of the war horses.
Yeah.
Okay. In which case, I'm just going to take a pop shot with my sling at the war horse, in an attempt to try and sort of disrupt dismount.
Okay. What I'll say, because what I was thinking out loud as you were mentioning, you're now 5 feet higher than the top of the hill, so your elevation is reasonably good. You can see the riders as well.
Yep.
But you still go for the war horse.
Yeah, I don't get advantage with being elevated, do I?
No.
Horses are worth money.
Okay.
If we catch war horses, we can sell them for money or keep them for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go for the rider then, mate. I think
Go for the rider.
If I've got good view.
Yeah.
It'll be 23 to hit.
23 is going to do it. What I'm going to do, I've just moved the hostile mercenaries off to the left. The horse is what you kind of aim where they are, if you know what I mean. 23 hits. Which one were you going for? Top, middle, or bottom?
The one near, the one nearest to me. The one
Okay, roll your
closest
damage.
charging up the hill.
Yeah.
That'll be 6.
6 is a solid solid hit, and you could hear your sling bullet ping off his helmet, and he looks dazed. Is only because of the momentum of the war horse that he manages to stay on. Do you want to do anything else with your turn?
I've got a bonus action with my acrobatics check.
You can.
Acrobatics athletics check.
You have got bonus action dash, haven't you? Now.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay where I am. I think I might. No, in fact, I might. I was reading taunt. Yeah, I'm going to taunt. I think as I'm up the tree, I'm feeling quite daring as I do as a Kender. And yeah, I'm going to taunt him.
Same one.
Sorry?
How does taunt work, dude?
So the target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw DC 12, or it has disadvantage on attack rolls against targets other than you until the start of the next turn.
Nice. DC
12.
DC 12. Okay.
Yeah.
Kender taunt, man. I've not seen that for years.
Kender taunt. Did you want to
Awesome.
say anything in particular, or are we just doing it generic?
I'll say fuck you and fuck your horses.
I'm over here, horse fucker. Yeah. Okay, so
Smell like horse.
Yeah, he rolled quite well. He looks as if he's initially annoyed by your very presence, but then you can see his training kicks in. Better luck next time. I think that takes us to Nordan, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, because obviously you were discussing sort of line of sight and stuff. My initial intention was to cast Gust and see if I can unhorse the one that's just been stunned by the shot to the head.
Hostile mercenary.
Will I be able to do that?
Yeah.
I know with the discussion of line of sight.
Well, you can. Gust says you can move someone by
5 feet.
5 feet.
The intention is he'll send the gust of wind at him, knock him off the back of the horse, basically.
That's a tremendous idea.
That's
what
going to
I'm
hurt. These are at full gallop uphill. So, is there a save or is there a roll to hit?
A strength save.
Okay, so that's
30.
reasonable to see if he can hold on. Strength. He rolled 4. So
he'd go for the lead one, same one that Leggit's just stunned. He'll follow up with the gust, knock him off the horse.
Sure. So the falling rules in D6 is in D6 in D&D is 1d6 for 10 feet. So I'm going to give you with impact as well. I'm going to give you 2d6 damage for this, just because he's coming uphill at pace trying to get to you.
Okay. 9 points of damage.
9's enough to do it. So the sling bullet properly knocks him back, and you can see he's veering off. What does it look like from there?
As you've seen with Nordan, his eyes go this really grey colour, and he starts to move his hand around and you can see it start to form as he's catching air, and then it just woof, and you feel and you see the leaves on the oak tree sort of probably some of them shake loose as this blast of air just fires across and smacks him square in the chest.
Nice.
Unhorsing him.
Nice. Anything else? Any movement from you?
Yeah, he's going to move himself into cover behind the tree.
Okay.
So he's out of the charge, as it were.
Yeah. So okay. I get you.
You know what I mean? He's like, oh, horses are coming. I'm not equipped for this.
Yeah,
I'll hide behind this big tree.
Wicked. So that takes us to Arthas.
Right. So I've got how much movement have I got? Is it 30 feet?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah, I've just spotted it.
I'm just going to nip for a burst, actually. I'll be right back, Mark, won't you?
Oh, referee. Never catch me just slyly sneaking off to do stuff.
Oh,
Honestly.
Who would have thought the cantrip gust I've used really effectively in 2 combats?
Done really.
I wasn't even expecting the damage, to be
Yeah.
honest. I just
And
thought
he's
if I could
dead.
unhorse
You killed
one,
him.
I thought for instance, if I unhorse one, that will delay him getting into the fight, which leaves just the 2 initially. But
Yeah.
there you go.
Anyone that ends their turn, next to me, I can try and help. I will be moving, obviously, on my go. But if anybody wants me to be able to shield you, run, stay within 5 feet.
It would be Tom, wouldn't it? Really, that you want to be.
I imagine he'll be running in as well.
Yeah. So I assume the presumption is we're going to work as a unit.
Yeah.
That'd be the. So especially against mounted opponents, splitting up probably isn't the best.
No.
Oh, no, I mean it never is. It never ever is. When does that ever work out well in any scene? Have you seen, any of you guys seen Cabin in the Woods?
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked by
Yeah,
how good it was. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I was expecting
the older one, Mark.
it's
2000?
2011 or something
Yeah.
like that. It's not
Yeah,
new.
yeah. It was quite good.
It was what
Remember it
a young, unfamous Chris Hemsworth, isn't it?
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
definitely worth watching. Oh, Dave's had me watching Community. Have you ever seen that? Netflix.
I've heard of it. I've seen clips, but I've
It's
not watched it.
good.
Oh, it's fucking funny.
I'll be honest. I've been watching The Last of Us, The Mandalorian, and Star Trek Picard. That's what I'm watching at the moment.
I can't fault you for that.
The Last of Us was amazing.
Yeah, I've got that to
So-
look forward to. Not seen it yet.
They did
Joe
such a great
Pascal's
job.
just knocking it out of the park at the minute, isn't he?
Oh, he's the man, isn't he? He's the man.
He is the man.
He's the daddy,
Yeah.
mate, not the man. He's everybody's fucking
Mhm.
new dad, isn't he?
Right, Mark. Arthas was
Right. Oh, sorry. Right. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 20. 25.
Well, the wall is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
was
it's
just
going
gonna
to
say-
take you 5 to get over it.
Would you not want it between you?
Yeah. I'm going to go up to the wall, Dave. Right. So I'm.
Mm.
How tall is the wall?
3 feet.
3 feet, so I could easily see over it. I'm just going to stand by the wall, draw my sword and shield, and I'll just give the remaining horsemen the old Jaboa salute.
Right.
Is that what we're calling it now? The Jaboa salute. Love it. Canon. That's it. It's locked in.
So that is the turn of the war horses. Then, well, it's the turn of the Ironclad regiment. So,
Well, I'm going to hold my. I've still got an attack action, which I'm not going to take. Obviously, I'm just going to
Okay.
hold the attack.
right. For what circumstances is it? Anything that comes
So
near you?
someone getting ranged. Someone who gets near me.
Okay. Well, the first one to get near you is going to be the riderless horse, as it jumps on the charge over the wall. So do you want to roll to hit that one then?
Is it riderless?
What? Yeah, that's one I knocked off.
Oh no! I'm sorry. I'm saying for an actual, human enemy or humanoid enemy.
Right.
I don't want to just twat a horse.
Okay. Well,
See, that's very valid.
the horse is as it leaps over, it is going to try and land on you. So I'm going to make an attack roll with it against you.
No, I don't really want to hurt the horse. I'll just let it. I'll just try and not get
Well,
twatted.
it rolled a natural 1 to hit.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't hit me.
It doesn't. So let me just work it. So it's 25. Heavy terrain, so we'll take it up to 35. Which gives it.
Be the other side, wouldn't it? Basically.
Yeah. So it does travel into range of Kelevendros. But the second one with the mounted lad is going to do the same. The first one will run in this direction to go past the tree stump. Well, actually,
I'll twat him as he runs past.
Yeah, I'm only 2. So this one has heard the Kender taunt. Let me just move the mercenary alongside. And
is that the one who's really after the Kender?
Well, no, it was the dead one. But this one was offended on his behalf. So as this one charges past, I'm going to have the mercenary fella take a spear stab at Leggit, and that's going to be 17 to hit Leggit.
Hits.
Yeah. So as you're 5 feet up in this tree, doing your taunting, this militia lad charges, jumps over, and thrusts his spear, which just catches you for 4 points of damage. That was a lucky damage roll. So, the horse.
I was going to say, is there like a charge rule?
Yeah,
like
there
a
is.
charging rule.
Yeah. Well, because of the momentum, it doesn't make sense for me for the horse to be going this side. So the only viable target is going to be Nordan.
Oh, Dave. That's
So
not very nice.
The horse is going to try and trample. Nordan rolls an 18 to hit.
Because that was going to miss.
Again, you're very lucky. That's only 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Only.
Yeah.
Only 9. Dave.
Only 9.
I'm a second level wizard.
You are.
Yeah.
Also, sorry. Only 9.
You
Jesus
need to make a
Christ.
strength saving throw.
This is going to go well for you, mate.
It's not going to go well. I have
And-
0 strength.
And you are prone.
Fantastic.
He fell over.
And let me just figure out how much. So 30.
I'm hitting him as he runs past, unless it's just a pop-o. Is it just a pop-o?
No. That's did have. I'm going to have to put it on top of Kelevendros, I'm afraid. That did have a rider. Who are you aiming for? You said
The rider.
You said the. Oh, did you? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be trying to hit a horse. I don't see any point in that. They're just animals.
Right. Roll to hit then. So this is your reaction, isn't it?
No, it's just by held action.
Yeah, but I think you have to use a held action as a reaction if it's in another turn. But
in that case, yes.
Yes.
So action as long sword. Bollocks! Why couldn't that have been the natural 20? I've missed it since.
Well, do you want to pass inspiration to someone?
Yes, I will give inspiration to Nordan.
Okay. Yeah, because he's already got inspiration, he can pass it to someone else. So the second warhorse with its rider are both coming at Arthas. So as you've positioned yourself there, so the warhorse is going to jump over and try and trample you first. It's a 15 to hit you. That misses, isn't it?
Nope.
Yeah, lucky. As the guard also tries to stab down with his spear, and he rolls a natural 1. Good God. They move to the other side of you as they jump over the hill. Unfortunately, you can't take an opportunity attack because you've used your reaction as part of your.
Oh,
that's it. Which takes us to Kelevendros then.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is try and jump up and basically tackle the rider off the warhorse that's next to me and get him off that horse.
Okay. So
I'm just going to stave off the apocalypse.
In one day. Can you imagine how
I'm just every time, mate. I'm just absolutely flabbergasted by it.
Yeah.
And
It
changes so dramatically.
It does.
Yeah, I wondered if they would. I think I stuck to a theme at one point, but there's just no theme.
There's
to
no
it either,
point,
is
mate.
there?
Yeah.
No point.
TP and Wigwam. I mean, I'd hate to say it, Tom, but you were onto a loser there, I reckon. But you never know. He's that random that it could actually happen. Right. So it needs to be a what kind of check? I'm going to ask you to roll to hit, and it's kind of improvised, isn't it? No, you know what? It's unarmed combat. So just make me an unarmed combat roll. Motherfucker, I wasn't. I'm actually going to have to check his AC.
Yeah, so we're rolling like trash out of combat, but apparently.
Right, yeah, I'll give it you.
Okay, cool.
I'll be honest with you. So these lads they're wearing chain shirts and they have a shield and spear. They're kind of behind cover because they're on top of this meat death machine that's rolling towards you. Somehow. Right. So what was your intention?
So basically, it's basically to grapple him. So I want to get up, grab him, and pull him off that horse.
Okay.
Try and take away that the height advantage, but also the maneuverability. Because if I can get him off the horse, Nordan and it makes Nordan and Leggit a bit safer because he's engaged with me.
Agreed. So
would he not take 4 damage if he's coming off the horse as well? Then?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, he's going to take your unarmed damage, which is 1 plus strength, isn't it?
No, it's set at 5 for me. Oh yeah, so 1 plus strength,
yeah. So that is an automatic damage of 5. And for the fall and the impact against you, I'm going to give you another D6 damage as well.
Tidy.
Underpants.
There's one.
Okay, but you've properly knocked the wind out of him. So you've got 2 riderless horses now. Now to actually grapple, we can go for the full. I don't know. I always forget the new rules. We can have a competition to see if you're keeping hold of him, or did you not want to grapple him and keep hold of him?
Just knock him to the ground, Tom.
Yeah, I'm not too bothered about keeping a hold of him, so long as because I'll take away the maneuverability, and that was the aim. Get him on his feet.
Yeah,
he's engaged with me now. He'd be mad to go and attack Nordan instead of the big guy with the 2-handed sword. So
agree.
I mean, he might do it, but he might do it. But...
Yeah, well, because you'll knock him prone. We kind of need to position you sort of here, then, don't we?
Yeah, and I'm happy to move if that's kind of it was easier to duck under the horse, and then do you know what I mean? So we couldn't see it, perhaps.
Yeah. Okay, well let's leave you there for now. Right, next thing I need to do, I need to roll a d4. And it says 2. Right. 1 random player. What I would like, in fact, I'll just do it. In fact, I'm going to tell you. Mark, you're 1. Tom, you're 2. Andy, you're 3. Sam, you're 4. Mark, just roll a d4 for me, please.
Well, that's me then.
That's you then. I would like for you to make a dexterity saving throw, please, Mark.
Won't? Oh, go on. That's quite good.
So, out of the fray on this side, as you're engaged, 2 more war horses come charging past you. They're riderless. One of them knocks into you, and the other one happens to stabilize you. Other than that, you are not knocked prone, and you don't take any damage.
Whee!
That takes us back to Leggit.
Come on, Leggit. Get yourself some pasty.
So I'm just gonna go over it again then. So riderless horse in the centre. Riderless horse here with the your enemy on the floor, and this is a mounted opponent still.
Okay. So I've got a riderless. I'm just going to plug in. Got a riderless mercenary. No, I've got a mercenary here
Yep.
next to Nordan.
Correct.
He's in within 5 feet, so I get my sneak attack. So I'm going to go.
Yes.
Another slingshot, mate. With a nat 20 to hit.
Yes.
Oh,
Nice.
At least someone's rolling above 1. Glad you added. That saves.
That's a 7 crit, and then the sneak attack on top of that. Is that right, Dave?
that's right, and that's 2d6
Yeah.
as well because you get double damage for that.
Oh, he's
So that is a total of 10 points of damage, right?
Nice.
Yeah, mate, way ain't amazing. Because it could have been, but yeah.
Yeah, he did. Well, how do you want to kill him?
So yeah, Leggit's sort of hanging out the branches a little bit, winding up his sling. It's hit straight in the middle of his chest, knocks him off his feet, and that bludgeoning, blunt force trauma.
Have you seen the damage a sling can actually do in real life? It's scary.
Well, the Romans used
But
them.
the accuracy of it, you got to be quite accurate with it.
It's really hard to get good at, which is why they use it more often.
Yeah.
But the Romans used to hire mercenaries from the Balearic Islands who were renowned for being really good slingers, and they still are. They still practice it as a sport. And the lead bullets that they started to cast for them, which came after the stones, that'll almost pass straight through you if you're not armored. It's you're absolutely going to die if it hits you in the chest.
Goliath had no chance, did he?
He had no chance. No.
So what I will tell you, and it's one of those D&D rules that if someone is prone and you're ranged, you get disadvantage. I've never had it as a hard and fast rule. You're elevated, so yeah, that's just sort of for future reference. If because in theory, if they're on the floor, they're harder to hit, I suppose. But, anyway, so
Do you want me to re-roll that? I don't mind.
No. Any bonus actions? Any movement from Leggit?
He's just going to hide action, I believe, in the trees.
Hide bonus action, yeah.
Yeah, please.
Cutting out. Okay, make a stealth roll.
I don't know what that was about.
13.
13.
Okay. Nordan's turn.
So Nordan will stand up.
Okay, so that's half your movement to stand.
Yeah. And he's not looking too hot at all. And as it worked the first time, may as well try it again. Try and blow the other mercenary off his horse as well.
Okay. So he rolls
Blowing off
13
mercenaries.
strength.
I think he's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bang on 13.
Beats it. Yeah. Okay. Any movement for you?
He might step a little bit further round the tree, as obviously he hadn't stepped far enough.
Okay. Arthas.
Right. So what have I got? What's still alive?
Two riderless horses, and then this lad who has charged past you. So he's mounted on the horse. Let me move the horse a bit closer. He's mounted on the horse next to you. For your turn, he is a viable. Actually, he would have moved further away, wouldn't he? So he did actually make his way a little bit down the hill. Let me move them all. So he's gone past you.
Yeah. But I could still catch up to him.
You could do. Yeah.
Right. So is it just literally he's the only guy left? There's a horse that's going to run.
These horses look as if they're going to carry on. War horses are bred for combat. Normally, when they're engaged, they fight until they're the person who trained them. I'm looking for any idea if anyone knows what a warhorse would be, but I think they're vicious, nasty motherfuckers that are trained for it.
Yeah,
but I
they've not
think,
got
like
a
you
good
say,
temperament.
they
Yeah,
would
but
probably
I
just
think
carry on riding,
Yeah, they wouldn't be
Okay.
freaked out or
or
anything.
they'd start to slow down, as they
Sure.
go down, as they get to the bottom of the hill, because they're not given any commands, as it were.
Okay,
Yeah.
so these two are going to
Oh,
carry on
right.
bolting, but this one's being controlled still.
Well, I'm gonna run at him.
Yep.
And I'm gonna just drop my shield to the ground and take a massive two-handed swing at him with my
Okay.
inspiration.
Right.
The brand new shield just gone, never to be seen again.
So that's till my next turn, I'm not as indestructible. Let's see how badly I can do this. Longsword. How do you get advantage again, Dave? How do you do it with advantage? I can't remember.
Right click the plus.
Right, click. Advantage. Here we go. Yes.
And again, he's behind a shield. This lump of flesh. Go on then, roll your damage.
Right. So
it's two-handed damage as well.
yeah. Oh, ball bags. 6.
6. You managed to get round his defenses. I would possibly. Yeah. So you do get a solid thump on him. What else do you want to do?
Is he still? I'm trying to think if I've got anything I can do as a bonus action. So that's my attack. No, there's nothing else unless it's a bonus action. I haven't used my bonus. I can bonus action. I'll pick my shield up again. Can I do that?
Not really. No, because your shield's over here somewhere. If you threw it down.
No, I would have dropped it at my feet. I wouldn't have left it miles. I wouldn't have dropped it till I got there.
Okay. Well, it is on. You are on a hill.
Right.
I'm going to
No,
say
no
more of a.
props.
Yeah.
I'll have to pick it up. So that's not an issue. Right. Okay. What else can I do? I don't think there's anything else I can do. To be fair, I think I'll have to pass that on.
Okay. So it's the war horse's turn with the guard on top there. So the war horse, it's going to try and stomp on Arthas without a shield.
Yeah.
It rolls
Fair play.
14 to hit.
My armor class is normally 19.
So it drops
So
17 back to you.
it'd be
So not
16
really
anyway.
anywhere near.
Right. Okay.
17, yeah.
So that misses. So the guard tries to stab you. That's a 21 to hit though.
That's hit.
Yeah, that's 5 points of piercing damage with the spear.
Let's have a look at my thing. I'm just having I've got a thing. So I'll just see if it's. Where is it?
Oh,
Heavy
it's
armor
your-
master.
yeah.
Yeah, I can reduce that by 3, unless it's a magical weapon.
No, that's 2 points of damage.
Yeah.
Right.
Heavy
Okay.
armor master.
So this horse now is it spinning round? It's leaping and clawing and kicking as the experienced rider is trying to stab into you, which takes us to Kelevendros' turn. These horses will sort of, they would have had their go and have moved out of the picture pretty much. Yeah.
No chance to mount one then.
Well.
I would have had to have done it last turn, wouldn't I? So
Yeah, because you took him off.
Yeah. I took him off. I wouldn't have had a chance. So in 6 seconds, you wouldn't be able to get back on a horse. And it's not realistic. So, do I don't know. What do I do here? Yeah, I think. Yeah, so I think Kelevendros is going to just come round to the back of the horse and try and take a swing himself with a two-handed sword.
Okay.
Try and get the rider.
You know, that's the exact purpose that two-handed swords were invented for. Knocking
chopping.
knights off horses.
Right, go for it. Roll to hit.
And for chopping the horse's legs out as well. That's the other
Absolutely,
thing,
yeah.
Drop the horse. But I don't want Peter complaints from the YouTube video. So
No one watches it still. 25 is a solid thump. Roll your damage.
Oh, I hope this takes him down. That's why I put my shield down. I thought I'd try and kill him.
14 damage. That's
a lot of damage.
What max damage for you?
the max damage would be 16. And I rolled a 19 tit as well, so that was 2 bloody good rolls.
Yeah, that wasn't bad at all. How would you like to kill that rider?
So I think just a big, chop, probably from the height, is going to go through his belly. Just like, probably not all the way through, but maybe catch him on the side, go in, and just pull out his belly.
Yeah, that sounds really painful and unpleasant.
What I'm going to do, just to stretch it, are we all right for another 10, 20 minutes?
Yeah, about half 11, I think I can manage.
As part of your swing through, you actually damage the horse as well. Such is the power of the stroke. But it's incensed the horse, who is now sort of surrounded by 2 combatants, and it's got the bit between its teeth. So we're going to finish off with that. However, we've got the event. So, Tom, would you roll a d4 for me, please?
Certainly can. Sorry, Sam.
No, you can't make me have a bad thing. I'm hanging on to life here.
Well, that was what I was choosing between. Do I heal you or do I go and fight? So,
can you roll another d4 for me, please?
You want me to?
No, to Tom.
ooh. Oh no.
2, 1, 2. So yourself. So from the edge of what's going on?
My underpants.
If your underpants are going off here, Mark, I want.
Oh yeah, I
don't know,
forgot I'm
man.
on camera. Better not do that. Yeah.
So out of the fray, another ironclad regiment mercenary on foot appears, and he looks as if he's going to charge towards you. I believe. Let me just read it again. Takes. Oh no, his. Yeah. Okay, right. He is going to charge towards you though. So that takes us to Leggit's turn. So what you can see then, you can see 3 dead lads, 1 horse that's incensed, the other horses you might as well forget, and you can see out of the fray another mercenary is coming at you. What do you want to do?
Is he coming at us like a buzzard? That's what, or would he be more like a ray or a laser? Possibly.
Well, we'll perhaps give Mr. Johnson his turn, shall we, Mark? And then we'll... what I will tell you though, Andy, is because you took the hide action last time, and this lad's just appeared, and it's a comeback situation. You are considered hidden from him, so you will attack him with advantage.
Yeah. Is he in range at the minute though? Oh, he will be with my sling, won't he? Of course.
45 feet
just
away
see
from
what...
you.
I do have a question for you as well, Andy. Can you use a short bow?
I haven't got a short bow.
No, can you use one then?
I
think a short bow's a simple weapon, isn't it? Or is it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Depends.
Because I can
I've
use
got
them.
crossbow, longsword, rapier, short sword, and simple weapons. Does that come under the simple weapon category?
Yeah, because I've got a short bow you can have just for obviously for the future. It's
longer range, isn't it?
Yeah, longer range. But I was meaning to ask you since we started. Did you want it? And I've just forgot. So.
Yeah. And a sling is only 30-foot range, Steve. So,
well, you'd have
pans.
You'd have to move forwards 15, which you could still potentially do. I'd ask for a second stealth check, so you could sort of stay close to the wall. I mean, there's plenty there for that'll do, mate.
Yeah.
So roll your stealth check if this is still your intent.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
14.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah. So taking another pop shot with my sling.
Wicked. At your advantage.
My advantage.
Roll.
Oh, no.
On that 20.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay, so now it's the same. Fucking hell, Johnson. So same again with 2d6 on. So that's just your sling.
10. Hold on.
2d6.
100.
Come on, mate. Oh no, that was 1d6. So 17.
7 total
Yeah.
points.
How do you want to kill that fella?
This is going to. He's just going to nick his carotid right underneath his helmet. It's just going to slice through his armor and just nick his carotid, and he's just going to grab his neck and go down.
So is this poor unfortunate fella? I say poor unfortunate. He did want to kill you. He comes out of the fray, and it's almost as if he's been knocked backwards by the Vogler militia. The Vogler militia are losing badly here, by the way. And as he spun around, he sees you guys. He's already battered as he starts to approach, and the right hand side of his neck just explodes. There's a spurt of blood, and he collapses on the floor.
Yeah. Proper
Graphic.
like anime style.
Oh.
Anything else?
Bonus action. I'm going to hide action again. I guess I'll just kind of disappear into the wall a little bit. Use the cracks of the wall just to try and
Use the
hide
shadows.
away a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah.
Make another roll then.
Lovely.
On
Okay.
fire tonight. Nordan's turn.
Just trying to see if there's anything I can do to get rid of this horse. Yeah, okay, so say yes or no to this, Dave. I won't get upset if you say no. Can I use prestidigitation to make a fire appear underneath the horse in an attempt to scare it off?
Yeah.
See where I'm going with that?
I do. I don't see why not at all. That's within the scope of prestidigitation, isn't it? I believe.
It says you instantly light or snuff out a candle, a torch, or a small campfire. So if we say we set fire to the grass underneath its front hooves, try and scare it off the two
Sure.
guys.
Yeah, but it's just
That's what,
yeah. Okay.
try and intimidate it, as it were.
Yeah.
Or we wouldn't have the spear from the guy who's just died.
Okay.
Yeah, just something burst into flames, as it were.
Yeah. Okay. What I'm going to give you then is fire. So I'm just trying to think of a DC. It only rolled 11. What's your spell save DCs? It's higher than that, isn't it?
I have +7 to my spell attack. Oh, the save DC is 15.
15. What I'm going to say is it jumps. It's skittish. It jumps as this your sort of illusion flashes, which would give Arthas and Kelevendros an opportunity attack. Yeah. Okay.
I'll take that.
Go on then. You roll first then for Kelevendros. If you both want to roll, that'd be fine. 21 hits. 9, and then Arthas then.
Right. 9.
What's left?
You've got an opportunity attack against the warhorse. Nordan's just created a flash of fire underneath it, and it's jumped away.
In that case, yeah, I'm going to give it a tweb.
Tweb with the
If it's,
200
coming,
sword.
if it's going to come at me like a buzzard, it can pay the price. Right. Actions.
That was the Noel Fielding thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Mighty Boosh.
Boosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
19 hits. Roll your damage.
Oh, I've still got my two hands, haven't I? Because I'm
You
shieldless. You are kidding me. That's 2 1s on the D10.
However, how would you like to kill the horse?
Oh,
Be
as
nice.
I see that, as I realise that it's going to attack us, I imagine it's rearing up with, and then I'll see what's happened with the horse as it backs off, and I think, fuck it, I'm just going to lunge forward and just stab it straight through the sternum.
Okay, righto, and withdraw your sword.
Yeah,
there's a big spray of blood. So there's a battle all around you. It's total chaos now. In the general melee over the other side to the east, Becklin and Cudgel are there, and then all of a sudden you're thinking, wait a minute, what is going on? And you hear from the west, out of the fray, steps Darrett, and he's now blooded. He's got a wooden sword, not his own sword, and a shield, and you can see bits of blood and gore on this wooden sword, and he's taken a few hits himself. Let's give him that much damage.
Jeez.
But he looks up at you guys as he gets sort of closer to the top of the hill, and he'll say, the look of exhilaration on him, and he was saying, I don't know what's happening. This is crazy. And he'll say, I'm trying to get to Becklin. We must make sure that Becklin's okay. What do you guys want to do?
So the rider who is directly next to us, who we killed?
Yeah.
What weapons did he have on him? Did he have a spear? I know he had a spear. Did he have anything else, or was it just a spear?
He could have a dagger.
No. So I'm going to grab. I want to grab the spear.
Yeah.
And give that to Declan and say, arm yourself properly.
To Darrett.
This is a real fight. Yeah, Darrett.
Gotcha.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Good thinking. Yeah.
So, you've got a wooden sword. Let's give you something a bit sturdy to fight.
Damage.
Well, you can have a
And then
short
I
sword.
also
We'll give him a short sword, shall we?
Yeah, just so he's got something. And then the other thing I want to do is cast Cure Wounds on Nordan, seeing that he's pretty hurt.
Nordan is in a bad way.
So what does it look like when you cast Cure Wounds?
So he's going to he pulls out the holy symbol, and he's just going to close his eyes with his hand on Nordan's shoulder. Yeah. And just say, Paladin, please grace this man with your holy aura, I think.
Yeah.
It's just basically a prayer as effect.
Okay.
In effect.
So as you're doing this, and Darrett takes the short sword and gives it a few testing swings, a couple of things are going to happen at the same time. So you hear from behind Darrett, you hear a voice that you've heard before, and it's supposed to be a Russian accent. As you hear, "Where is uncrushable? I test uncrushable," and then you hear, "There."
Unbreakable.
Was it Unbreakable?
Yeah, it was Unbreakable.
Well, I did. I rewatched it, and you were talking about Arthas. Arthas the Unbreakable, I think you called it.
Yeah.
So as what I'm going to do is that's the first thing that happens. The second thing that happens as Gregonius says, "There, I see them." As Darrett turns around to look, a spear explodes from the front of Darrett's chest. Blood and gore spread around him as he drops to the floor. Let's have a medicine check off everyone.
See, this is the problem with NPCs, Tom. Dave just kills them off while they do nothing.
Somebody rolled worse than me. Can't believe it.
Okay, so Kel, you were nearest to him. This spear, as you've handed in this short sword, the spear's only just missed you. It's gone right through his right shoulder. It's pierced his lung. He's currently gasping for breath, and he's soon to die. What I'm going to do mechanically is give him a bunch of death saving throws as Dragonlance and 4 of his goons run out of the fray. Just make these visible to you, and I'll give you gentlemen the option. It's 25 past 11 now. Do we need to call that session and so we know where we're starting from next time?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Yeah,
I'm
not a
flagging a
problem
bit,
at
mate,
all, dude.
Yeah, I was just about to say exactly that. It's.
Shall we roll initiative and call it a night?
Yeah,
because I can save the initiative.
Start next time. Oh, I take it, Dave. I've been able to. I've picked my shield up since.
Yes, but yeah, that's fine.
Right.
So Leggit's top of the tree again.
Roll initiative.
I'm dead.
I'm bottom as usual.
Did I manage to get that spell off on Nordan, Dave?
Yeah. What I'm going to do is rearrange you ever so slightly.
Yeah, I'd have gone over with it.
Yeah, and where would you want Leggit to be? Because there's still a battle going on.
Leggit's going to be. Well, he's going to attempt to scurry back up the tree. Some elevation.
Yeah, keep your. As I see him scurrying up, I'll shout. Keep your eyes peeled. Let us know if you see anyone coming.
Make your stealth check.
Oh God.
Finish the session on a natural 20.
Nice.
These tokens are they're by a chap called David North, by the way. David North Illustrations. That's a proper one for Dragonlance, and Darrett's is a proper one as well.
So that's different to the one you used before, isn't it?
Yeah, I did. He's just released the second set of these tokens. I've been buying these tokens for ages because they fit the campaign really well. Right. So until the next time, then, gentlemen.
Yeah, that was boss.
Yeah,
really enjoyed that.
that's
Thanks,
really cool.
folks.